Good morning, Manchester. We're back and we're pleased to have Charlie Sherman here in studio with us. And I gotta tell you, Charlie was giving me a little bit of heck on the way in because he heard me refer to New Horizons here in Manchester as the soup kitchen, which those of us who've been around long enough always knew it as. But Charlie, tell me why I'm in trouble for calling it the soup kitchen. First, thank you for joining us this morning. It's a pleasure to have you.
Well, let me tell you, it's so good to get up at this hour of the morning. I thought my days of getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock were over. But for you, Richard, to be your second guest and to be on before the mayor, let me tell you, I would have gone up at 3 o'clock.
Well, Charlie, it's an honor to have you. We appreciate your being here.
Thanks, I appreciate it, Rich, and best of luck to you. This is an impressive setup.
Thank you.
I try and stay out of law firms.
Well, we don't want to stay out of Trombley and Kafori.
No, that's true. At least to be on your show, anyway.
Indeed.
It is not, for people who don't know, I'm the executive director of New Horizons for New Hampshire, which is our official name. And it's interesting because part of it, and it's not an unusual mistake that you make, Richard, even though you have been through and taken the tour since I've been there, which is one of the things I try to do is get people to see it. But everybody in Manchester knows the name New Horizons. Some people call it the soup kitchen, some people call it the homeless shelter, other people call it, New Horizons, the food pantry. We are all three of those things. And it's hard to just say, New Horizons, soup kitchen, food pantry, homeless shelter. So thus the name New Horizons for New Hampshire, even though it's really a Manchester facility. We are all three of those things in the community, the soup kitchen, food pantry, and homeless shelter. And it's been around an awfully long time, as again, people in Manchester certainly know. We're at 199 Manchester Street, and it has really been an eye-opening experience for me. I've been there 4 months now, and every day is interesting because, my wife says, how was work today when I come home? And every day is, today was a good day. We helped someone. You can visibly see the results of somebody getting a job, or helping somebody find permanent housing, or people coming in and getting a box of groceries. There are tangible things that you can see what you've done and tried to make a difference. There are other days when I go home and say today wasn't such a good day. But there were more days when I go home and say today was a good day, we helped some people. And that's a really nice feeling. People say, well, what are you doing at that place? How did you end up there? And I tell people, as anybody who knows me knows, I've got a pretty good run. I had 14 years as a banker, 14 years at Channel 9, 7 years at WGIR, and you're supposed to say another radio station.
We all know you were at GIR.
So there's no secrets, yeah. And so I've been blessed, and to be able to have an opportunity to do something like this is, to me, is really important, and I'm enjoying every day of it.
Was there something in particular, Charlie, was there like a defining moment where you said, you know what, it's time for me to go in this kind of direction, or did an opportunity present itself and you thought, you know what, I think maybe this is an opportunity for me to strike into something new?
It really was a combination of the two, Rich. As most people know, I've done a lot of charitable work over the years for so many different organizations. One of the biggest feathers in my cap, as I like to say, is myself along with Mary Conroy started the Penguin Plunge. We sat down one day and we were at a golf tournament up in...
And people call me crazy.
Yeah. We were at a Special Olympics golf tournament up in Gorham, New Hampshire. And what Gary said, we need to do something different for a fundraiser. We came up with the idea of the Penguin Plunge. And the 5 years that I did it, when I was at Channel 9, we raised $1 million. And continues on today to be a tremendous fundraiser for the Special Olympics. So I always tried to give back to the community all of the years that I was in my 3 other careers. And I have always had a desire to run a non-profit organization, but it had to be the right fit. And I had looked at some other things, I've been approached with some other things when I left Channel 9, but they didn't feel right. This felt right. I knew a lot about New Horizons. My family's been volunteering there. On Christmas, my family helps with George Bruno's crew to serve Christmas dinner. So I knew a little bit about it. I had emceed a lot of their events and been involved in a lot of their events. So when that opportunity presented itself, it just seemed like a natural fit, and it was something that I felt was right.
And do you consider it part of your mission, Charlie, to invest your star power on behalf of, well, certainly you've got some pretty good name recognition throughout the community, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you must have some goal, some mission to help elevate its status.
Absolutely. New Horizons is always, as I mentioned, kind of just been there and doing the work that they do, but a lot of people didn't know much about it. Again, people think, oh, it's a place where they're helping a guy on the park bench. And there's so much more than that. I mean, you had an opportunity about a month ago to come and see exactly what the place is all about and how much we do there and just the passion and dedication of the people who work there and the 25,000 hours of volunteers that we have every year. So part of my mission is to raise that image and that profile in the community and let people know exactly what we're doing, what an important part of the community that we are.
Well, we're happy to help, and we're going to get to that on the other side of our sports. You know, but this gives me an opportunity to bring up that one of the things we're doing is soliciting local bands to submit their music, and we've actually had a number of submissions. So if you're a local band or a groupie of one of them and you'd like to submit their music for consideration, we will use it as our bumpers. We will feature it on our website. Just go to girardatlarge.com. And nominate your favorite local music group. All right, so we're back with Charlie Sherman, and he is setting the record straight about what the New Horizons is. It is no longer the soup kitchen. I will bite my tongue every time I say it. But Charlie, I know there are some events that not only both just took place, but are going to take place in the near future. And I think they give you the opportunity to tell us a little bit more about what you're doing there at New Horizons. I know when you took me for the tour, you know, for as much as I knew about it, there was even more that I didn't, and frankly, I was surprised by the scope of what you do there.
So much of our budget is made up of basically donations and fundraising. As you can well imagine, we've had our cuts from the federal government and from the state of New Hampshire, so those shortfalls have to be made up somehow. And unfortunately, unlike many other businesses, our business is growing. I would love nothing better than for us to have to go out of business because of no customers, but our business is growing. We are now at the point where we serve meals to 200 people a day, and that's just right here in Manchester, and it's overwhelming when you see them lined up to come in for dinner. 70 people a night are spending the evening in our shelter and at our women's only shelter, Angie's, which is around the corner from us on Union Street. We have a waiting list of women to get into Angie's. We're giving out 900 baskets of food or boxes of food a month to 900 families. And again, this is Manchester, the greater Manchester area. The numbers are growing. As far as dinner, again, the term soup kitchen kind of rubs me a little bit, because if you came to New Horizons at dinner time, our head cook, Sam Button, one of the things that he's really adamant about is that we don't just give soup and a sandwich. He is really, really concerned that everybody has a good meal with all of the food groups, all of the food groups in the food pyramid. And on any given night, Sam, his philosophy is very interesting, and it's the one that I really like. It's that for a lot of people who are coming to us, that is their one meal of the day. So he'll serve anything from chicken parmesan or lasagna or tilapia, or it makes it really special. And everything from salad to dessert with the main course. So again, we're real concerned that people just have something a little bit special during the day. It's tough enough to come into a place like New Horizons and to ask for help. So we want to make it as comfortable as possible. We're concerned about it, and we want to make sure that people not only feel comfortable, but that they're treated with dignity, that it's safe and secure, and those are all priorities to us.
Now, are there any restrictions or conditions, Charlie? Can anyone show up and spend the night? Can anyone show up and just get a dinner?
Absolutely.
Are there rules that they have to follow?
No, we are open.
Even to stay overnight?
Absolutely. If you need a place to stay, we're there. If we're full, we'll find a place for you. We don't turn anybody away. It's an important part of our community. And again, for people who think it's just the guy on the park bench, it is not. And I'm more than happy if anybody would like to take the tour during the day. To personally will give you the half-hour tour and show you exactly what the place is all about, because there are a lot of charities out there that are asking for your help. And my feeling is, if we're going to ask you for a contribution or a donation, I want you to see where it's going. So come and see the place, and then think about it if you want to donate to New Horizons. But they're basic things. Food and shelter are really as basic as it gets. And in 2 words, that's what we do at New Horizons. We provide food and shelter to people who are in need. And I just want to talk real quickly about a couple of fundraisers. Rich.
Right.
Coming up next week is Chili Fest. We're honored once again to be one of 3 charities that will benefit from Chili Fest. So our thanks to the mayor and Chris Wellington, who are now promoters as well as members of the political team here in Manchester. But anybody who went last year knows it's a great event. So come out and support Chili Fest next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We are one of 3 beneficiaries, along with Families in Transition and the YMCA here in Manchester. Yesterday, we had a wonderful fundraiser. It's called our Empty Bowls fundraiser, and it's with the New Hampshire Potters Guild. They come, and throughout the year, their potters, a member of the guild, make pottery bowls. And for $20, you came to Brookside Church, and 15 local restaurants prepare soup. And for $20, you get a ceramic bowl of your choice, and you can sample as many soups as you want. And it's only for a couple of hours, and it's a great event. We had about 400 people who showed up yesterday to Brookside Church, and just had a lot of fun and enjoyed a lot of soups from 15 different restaurants here in Manchester. And you get to take the ceramic bowl home.
And Charlie, if people want to volunteer or donate or help out
Yes.
some other way, how do they reach you?
You can, the best way is our website, which is newhorizonsfornh.org, or we have a separate one for volunteers, which is helpnewhorizons.org as well.
Right,
So
Charlie.
either one of those 2 ways to get in touch.
Tell you what, if you send us those links, we'll put them on the website.
Girard@large.com.